Imagine strapping into a fighter jet and pulling the stick back until you're flying hundreds of miles an hour, skimming mere feet above a desert canyon floor. You have one chance to destroy a rogue nuclear facility before it goes hot. If you've seen Top Gun Maverick, you know the exact cinematic scenario I'm talking about. But that Hollywood plot is inspired by a 1981 military mission called Operation Opera. In the late 1970s, the leader of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, purchased a nuclear reactor from France. The facility was officially named Osirak. On paper, this reactor was strictly for generating peaceful energy. In reality, Israeli intelligence reported that Saddam was using the facility to develop weapons-grade plutonium for an atomic bomb. To Israel's leadership, the reactor was a ticking clock. Intelligence warned that if they didn't act before the reactor was fueled, a later strike would release a massive radioactive cloud over Baghdad.
They viewed the situation through the lens of the late 1930s, when European powers tried to satisfy Adolf Hitler's expansionism with the Sudetenland. Israel concluded that ignoring an aggressive power's buildup only ensures the eventual war is fought on the aggressor's terms. The geography of the target was the first major hurdle. Osirak was buried deep inside Iraqi territory, situated just outside the capital city of Baghdad. This map shows the scale of the flight path. To reach the target from Israeli air bases, the pilots had to cross 600 miles of enemy territory. That path required flying directly over Saudi Arabia and Jordan, highly defended territories with active early warning systems. If a single jet was spotted on radar early, the element of surprise would vanish. The mission would be aborted, and the intrusion would likely trigger an immediate regional war. Success required an infiltration strategy that could hide a strike package in plain sight, ensuring they reached the target without ever triggering an alarm. To solve this logistical puzzle, the military assembled a specialized strike package, 8 F-16 fighter jets to deliver the bombs, escorted by 6 F-15s. The first tactical solution exploited a physical limitation of radar technology. Because radar waves travel in straight lines, the curvature of the Earth creates a blind spot right above the ground. Pilots dropped their altitude into this gap, effectively submerging beneath the enemy's electronic vision. Maintaining that height for hours required absolute precision. To avoid detection, the entire squadron maintained total radio silence for the duration of the flight. Even at low altitudes, the plan had a vulnerability. A routine radar sweep could still catch a brief accidental glimpse of the jets as they crested a hill or a sand dune. To mask their identity, the pilots flew in an incredibly tight formation. On an enemy radar screen, the individual signatures of the fighter jets merged into one large, slow-moving blip, mimicking a commercial airliner. The squadron relied on this combination of extreme physical discipline and a calculated exploitation of the enemy's own technology to remain invisible. Once they reached Iraqi airspace, the stealth phase ended. The pilots now faced the final challenge, dropping unguided munitions onto a reinforced concrete reactor dome. This level of precision is historically difficult. During the Kargil War, Indian pilots had to fly at 18,000 feet in thin air just to drop guided bombs onto tiny bunkers. The Israeli team needed that same pinpoint accuracy with unguided bombs, immediately after flying hundreds of miles at high speeds. To achieve the necessary angle, the F-16s executed a pop-up maneuver. Just miles from the target, they rocketed thousands of feet into the sky before banking into a steep dive directly toward the dome. This sudden transition caught the Iraqi defenses entirely off guard. The pilots released their bombs with devastating accuracy before the anti-aircraft batteries could even track the incoming jets. The combination of long-range stealth, a sudden vertical climb, and high-speed diving was the only way to crack a reinforced target without being shot down. The strike was absolute. In less than 2 minutes, the Osirak nuclear facility was reduced to smoking rubble. Despite the complexity of the mission, the strike package returned home without a single casualty. Not a single Israeli jet was lost to enemy fire. Operation Opera proved that mastering speed and tactical surprise could eliminate a state's nuclear aspirations in minutes. A single well-executed strike permanently altered the strategic balance of the region.